Biological Classification, Session 6. In this module, we are going to learn about the second kingdom of the five-kingdom classification proposed by R.H. Whittaker, namely Kingdom Protista. Which are the organisms which comes under Kingdom Protista? They are single-celled or unicellular organisms who have eukaryotic nuclei, or single-celled eukaryotes are placed under Protista. Which are the eukaryotic organisms, or who are the eukaryotic organisms? Those organisms who have the genetic material or the nuclear material surrounded by a well-defined or organized nuclear membrane are called as eukaryotes. So if an organism is unicellular and if it is having a eukaryotic nucleus, it comes under kingdom Protista. Chrysophytes, Dinoflagellates, Euglenoids, slime molds and protozoans are all the different classifications which comes under kingdom Protista. As I told earlier, they have a well-defined nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles. Hence, they are called as eukaryotes. And the Protista, they usually reproduce asexually and sexually by a process involving cell fusion and zygote formation. So, both asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction is present in kingdom Protista. Now, let us learn about Chrysophytes. Chrysophytes are the photosynthetic protist. They are coming under the photosynthetic protist. And the main protist under Chrysophytes are the diatoms and golden algae. The golden algae is otherwise called as desmids. So diatoms and golden algae comes under Chrysophytes, and they are found in fresh water as well as in marine environments or in marine water. In diatoms, the cell walls is having a peculiar feature. That means the cell wall has two thin overlapping shells, and these shells, overlapping shells, they fit into each other just like a soap dish. And these shells or overlapping shells, they are embedded with silica. Okay, they are embedded with silica, and that's a peculiarity of the cell walls which is found in diatoms. And these diatoms over many years, they leave behind large amount of cell wall deposits in their habitat or where they reside. And these get accumulated over billions of years, and it turns out to be called as the diatomaceous earth. That is, the remains of the cell wall of the diatoms forms the diatomaceous earth. And the chrysophytes are photosynthetic, and they are called as the chief producers in the oceans. So the chief producers in the oceans are the chrysophytes, and the main chrysophytes are diatoms and desmids, and they have a strict peculiarity in their cell wall. That is, they have two thin overlapping shells which are embedded with silica, and over many years these cell walls becomes fossilized to form the diatomaceous earth, and they are photosynthetic. That means they trap the sunlight and convert it into a chemical energy. They convert light energy into chemical energy, and they are called as the chief producers in the oceans. So this is a picture of the diatoms. We can see the cell wall which is having the silica. Okay, it is embedded with silica. The second type of kingdom Protista are the Dinoflagellates, which are mostly marine and photosynthetic. So they also come under the photosynthetic protist. And the cell wall, unlike the chrysophytes, they do not have silica. Instead, on the outer surface of the cell wall, they have cellulose plates. They have cellulose plates on the outer surface. And they can be of different color. They can be yellow, green, brown, blue or red, depending upon the pigment which is present inside the cell. And the dinoflagellates, as the name suggests, there are two flagella, and the position of these flagella are different. One is longitudinal in position and the other is transverse in position. And the transversely positioned flagella is present in a furrow between the cell plates, between the cellulosic plates. And the red dinoflagellate, which has red pigment in them, and example is goniolex, And these goniolics or the red dinoflagellates, they undergo rapid multiplication that they make the sea appear red in color. And this phenomenon is called as red tides. We can see the picture of the goniolics which bring about this phenomenon called as red tide on the surface of the water body where they multiplied at a very rapid rate. So dinoflagellates, they are marine and photosynthetic, and they have cellulosic plates on their cell surface, and they can be different colored based on the pigment which is present inside them. And they have two flagellas, one is longitudinal position, the other is transverse in position. And the protist or the dinoflagellates which causes the phenomenon called as red tide is called as goniolics. Thank you.